Hello, guys, and welcome to today's lesson. My name is Chiakwa Gideon, and in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to create this flyer design. All right, so I saw this on P. Daniel's social media page, I think Instagram, and I liked it, and I said, okay, let's give this a shot. And by the way, I have all the design resources of this tutorial for you in a Google Drive, which I'm going to add on the link just down below. Okay, the images, the fonts, the backgrounds, the logos, everything you need are there for you. So once we are done with this tutorial, I'd like you to replicate the design, all right, and send your submissions to me. Without further ado, let's get this started. So guys, this is a blank canvas. For you to create a blank canvas, you go to File, go to New, and then you select from these presets. Okay, the preset I chose is this custom 5 by 5 inches, or we can change this to pixel if you want to, but I prefer to leave it at inches. Okay, 5 on the width, 5 on the height, and the resolution is set to 300. So I think we can leave every other arrangement and setting just the way they are. And let's get straight to the design. You click on create to create a new canvas or artboard. Now the first thing we want to do is to bring in our backgrounds. I'll go to File, I'll go to Place Embedded. Okay, now you can see I have my backgrounds here. Okay, now I'm going to select the background that I want to use. I'll click this one first. I'll click on Place. So it's placing. I'll press enter on my keyboard. Okay, I'll go to File again, Place Embedded, and click on the next one I want to use. Press enter on the keyboard, go to File, go to Place Embedded, and click on this again and place. All right, so I think I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this. And one more thing, we want to also add a crowd background beneath. We want to add a crowd background beneath, and I think I have that. I think I have that here. So I'm just going to click on this and say place. Okay, so we've gotten all the backgrounds that we need for this design. So the first thing I want to do is to click on my crowd background, bring it down like so, increase it a bit just like this. All right, and the next thing I want to do now is to create a layer mask here, to add a layer mask by clicking on this icon, add a layer mask. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to erase this part of the picture. I don't want this part to show. Okay, the reason is because I want this picture to blend in with my background. All right, so I'm going to create a new layer mask, okay, and then clean off this part. Another reason why I'm adding a layer mask is so that I don't touch or tamper on the main image. If I want to make another change on this image or do another edit, it's easy for me to. All right, I don't want to destroy the image as it were. So I'm going to go to my eraser tool over here. I'm going to increase the brush by coming over here and then increase the brush size. I think let's do somewhere around 500. You can just type in here 500 and press enter on the keyboard. All right, so now I'm erasing this part off like so. Okay, just like so. All right, so that is done. I'm going to now, let's start blending these backgrounds all together. All right, so I'll click on this one, click on Ctrl T on my keyboard. If you are using a Mac, I'm using a Mac for this tutorial, so if you are using a Mac as well, click on Command T on your keyboard, so the transform handles will show like this. So I'm going to click on one of them and increase it like so. All right, now you can see this part of this crowd image, how it's blending to the fire background. All right, so that's what we wanted to achieve. Okay, now let's select this as well. You can see the way I'm toggling on this visibility icon. So when it's on, the image shows. When it's off, the image disappears. All right. So I'm going to select this, Control T or Command T, and also spread it like so. All right. But this time around, I'm going to introduce a blend mode for this image to actually blend with the one beneath. All right. I'll go to normal. I'll go to let's see, I think screen looks good, but let's see other ones. Okay, let's leave it at screen. Okay, so what screen does is that it removes the dark part of the image and leaves the brighter part. All right, so you can see this darker part. When I click on screen blend mode, it disappears, the dark part disappears. Okay, and the final background we want to use for this exercise is this. I'm going to Command T, increase it like so, and also introduce a blend mode. Now mind you, all these fire backgrounds are beneath the crowd. They are beneath the layer of the crowd image. It's very important. All right, so take note of that. So if you want to move layers above or beneath another, you can click on the layer and move it down like so. Just drag it down, click and drag down, or click and drag up, as the case may be. All right, so now let's click on this. Let's go to screen as well, screen blending mode as well. Okay, so I think this looks good. I can decide to bring this in like this and then bring this in like so. Okay, so I think we've gotten the first step of our design, and the next step is to start introducing our text. So I have my text here already. I'm going to bring this up like so. So you can see my text already, but I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so let me bring this down. Let's bring this down and come to our toolbar. Click on the text tool. All right, I'll come to my font and select Bebas. Okay, Bebas font. Then I'm going to type in Feno. All right, I'll increase the size from here. Let's do 60. Now you can see that my text are looking compressed. Okay, the kerning, the spaces in between the individual characters are too small, and that's because of this. That's because of this. So this is set at -80. All right, so let's just move it up to 0 instead. Okay, if 0 is looking too spacious, we can consider something around -30. Let's see how that works. Okay, let's make it 50. Okay, so I think this works. I think this works now. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this Inferno by clicking on Ctrl J or Command J on the keyboard. Mind you, you have to select this layer. Make sure it is selected, and either you come here and say duplicate layer from here, duplicate layer. All right, so you come here, you right click and say duplicate layer, or the shortcut is Command J. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down, the duplicate, I'm going to bring it down like so, and just type Federal Polytechnic like so. Okay, now Control T to bring the transform handles. Just position this like so, just like this. Okay, bring it up a bit, then Control J or Command J again to duplicate this, but this time around our text here is EDE, EDE. Okay, so I'm going to come here and change the font. I think the font we used for this is this font. Okay, mind you, every resource I use for this design is on the Google Drive link I'll share with you. so you have access to them and it's easy for you to work with. So let's make this minus 70. Okay, then I'm just going to bring this in, Control T, drag this. Okay, awesome. So now watch this. I want to make the spaces in between these words to be uniform. All right, so how am I going to do it? I want the space here and the space here to be the same. We click on the header layer, hold your control or command key down, click on Federal Polytechnic, and also hold your control or command key down and click on Inferno. All right, so once these three layers are selected, I'll come here and click on this icon to distribute them vertically. So watch what happens here. All right, so you can see how uniform the spaces in between are now. So but I'm looking at it and I feel it's too much, so let's bring it up again and do the same thing like so. All right, so if we are cool with this, the next thing I want to do is to press Command G on my keyboard to group this layer. All right, so I'll come here and click on Theme. All right, just rename it Theme. To rename a layer, just double click on the name in the layer panel. All right, so then you can type theme. All right, but then the theme is looking slanty and not straight like this. All right, so what do we do? How do we achieve that? Okay, press Ctrl T or Command T on your keyboard, go to Edit, go to Transform, and press Select Skew. Right, so once you select skew, make sure your cursor changes to this. That is how your cursor should look. So once it's like this, you click now and drag up like so. All right, click and drag up like so. So I think this is fine. I'll just click on this and Control T again to make the text bigger. All right, then press Enter. Now I want this to be properly aligned to the center. I'll come here and click on this, Align Horizontal Center. All right, so we have been able to achieve this just the way it should be. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to bring in our images now. All right, but before then, I think we need to change the color of our font or the theme. All right, so what I'm going to do is right click on the theme, go to blending options, go to gradient overlay. All right, click on gradient overlay, come here, click on this gradient, then let's begin to change the colors. I'm going to click on this handle, select it, click on this color, then pick from the colors here. All right, I'll do the same here and pick as well. So let's use something darker. Let's use something darker for the sake of contrast. Okay, so I think we should make this now lighter. Oops, no. Just something that is contrasting enough. All right. Um, okay, so let's introduce a lighter shade here. Something lighter. Uh, awesome, awesome. So this is looking better. Okay, okay, cool. So the next thing I want to do is to add a stroke. Add a stroke, but the stroke is going to be reduced to, let's do 5, and then we'll change this the stroke fill type. We'll change it to gradient. Okay, now click on the gradient as well, and then let's give this a color. So this is one, and this another color. uh okay, I think this is cool. Yep, this works. One of them should be a bit tilted to the white color. Okay, I think this works. All right, so we've achieved this and it's looking quite cool. And the third thing I might want to do is to let's reduce this a bit to 3. Okay, I think it looks good. The size being on 3 is looking quite good. Okay, so let's now work on the bevel. Just something subtle, not too serious. Something subtle. Let's change it to emboss. Okay, it has to be really, really subtle. I don't want it to be too serious. But I think this works. So the depth is 1, the style is emboss, and the technique, let's do chisel hard. Okay, I think this is cool. All right, so I want us to add a kind of overlay below this text, something that makes the text to pop more. All right, so I'm going to come here. I'm going to come here as well, create new layer. Okay, so now we have a new layer here. I'm going to click on letter B on the keyboard to bring out my brush tool. All right, now the brush color is set to black here. I'm going to make it, I'm going to select from here and choose a color, make it darker. Okay, click on OK. So now I'm going to click once here. All right, so you can see that we've gotten this background that makes the text to pop. All right, but let's blend it in to look better. Let's blend it in to look better. Something that makes it look better. Okay. Okay, so let's leave it at light color. All right. Now the background is looking quite busy. We need to do some work here. We need to do some work here. So I'm going to duplicate this fire background, make this one invisible. All right. Now this being selected, I'll go to file, I'll go to filter rather, go to blur and go to Gaussian blur. Okay, let's do radial blur. All right, let's do radial blur. Let's set it to 10 and let's click. Okay, so this is looking better. All right, it's looking better. So I'm going to do the same thing with, I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'll duplicate this. Now select the duplicate, go to filter, go to blur and go to radial blur. Select this. All right, so this looks quite better. Okay, so now you've gotten this, and I think I'm cool with it. One thing I might want to do again is to add a kind of noise to this background. So I'll go to blur, so I'll go to camera, so we go to filter, go to camera raw filter. All right, camera raw filter. I'll come over here and make my grain to be up to 20, like so. All right, so we've added a subtle grain effect on the design, and I think I like it. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is to introduce our images. So just come to file, go to place embedded, and let's bring in the images. So we have the image of P Daniel. Okay, we have the image of BBO. All right, and then we have the image of um, Precious Worship. Awesome. Awesome. Now, you see what is happening here? The images are beneath, sorry, you can see that the images are below this text. You don't want it that way. All right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these images, Precious Worship, BBO, and P Daniel, or select all by clicking on my Control key or Command key down, like so, and then click on each of the layers. So, I'm now going to now just drag them up above the theme. Okay, so that's how to move it to a layer above. So the next thing we want to do now is to properly arrange the images. So we have P-Daniel's picture here. We have BBO's picture here. I think BBO's picture should be beneath this. All right. Just like so. And Precious as well, our picture should be beneath. So we have something like this. Let's reduce this size a bit. So we want to move this out. Okay. So I'm going to reduce all of them. I'm going to reduce all of them like so. Okay. So I think this works. Okay, so I think this works. Okay. Now let's look at our reference design just to see if we are on track. Okay, so um we are going to still make some edits to this main text, but for now let's leave it like this. Okay, let's just leave it the way it is for now. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is to bring in our texts, this text here. But before then, I think we need to bring the layer of this crowd. Let's bring the layer of the crowd to be above the pictures. Exactly, so this is what we want to do. Bring it up a bit, the pictures, and then select the crowd image and bring all down like so. All right. Okay, so I think this looks good. Let's move the theme upwards a bit, and I want to add a kind of light to this image. I'll go to my search on my laptop. I'll click on lights. I think I have a picture, a light flare picture. So I have my light flare here. I'll change the blend mode to screen again. All right. Change the blend mode to screen, and I'll take it up like so. All right. Take it up like so. So now you see how this text is kind of popping. All right. So let's darken the background. Let's darken the background. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Control J or Command J on your keyboard just to darken the background so that our text can actually pop more. Okay. Okay. Let's turn this off. Let's go to our theme. Um, let's change this gradient to something lighter or brighter. Mm, okay. Stroke. So okay, I think what we can do here is to edit this text individually. So I right click on this edit text, I go to blending modes or blending options rather, then go to gradient overlay. All right, so I want to make this to be bright enough. Change this, yep, something like that. Just keep on testing different options or different colors to find the one that actually, you know, blends with your background to achieve that contrast. All right, so I think this looks good. What I'm going to do now is just to right click on this and click on copy layer style. All right, copy layer style. So I want to copy the layer style of this edit text and then paste on Inferno. So I right click on Inferno text layer, then I'll come here and say paste layer style. Okay, so you can see now that we have the same effect that we have here on Inferno. Okay, so I might want to tilt or tweak the color a bit. Let's see how it works. I'm going to make this part of the color to be darker. Okay, okay, cool. So let's right click on this, copy layer style, and paste it on Federal Polytechnic. Okay, I think this looks much better. Okay, so let's now group them. Let's group them and then right click blending options. Let's see a subtle stroke. Let's add a subtle stroke to it. Let's change the stroke style from linear to reflected. Okay, let's also make a part darker. Should be darker. uh, okay, let's leave it like this. I think what we need to do now is to add a drop shadow. Okay, let's add a drop shadow. Select drop shadow, increase the opacity, increase the spread number, increase the size. Okay, let's bring down the spread a bit, increase the size to 170, decrease the spread to 16. Okay, and distance, I think distance can be on 0. Now let's take off this stroke and see how it looks. Okay, I think this looks good. So no need for the stroke, just for us to add the drop shadow. Now, adding the drop shadow actually made the text to pop. All right, so that is the effect I've been looking for. Now let's see if we can add this light flare and how it's going to appear. Okay, not bad. Um, okay, let's just look for somewhere to place this. We can increase the size a bit. I think this is looking too much. We might want to bring it down just to reduce the size more. Okay, I think this works and this works. So the next step is to let's also make this blurry. Okay, go to file, go to blur, go to radial blow. Okay, awesome, awesome. So um yeah, so this is a good one so far. Now let's begin to add our text. Let's begin to add our text. So we want to make this the team, the date, the time, the venue, and then their names, basically. Okay. But before then, I want us to add a kind of dark overlay here so that when we are adding the text, they come out very clear. All right. They come out very clear. Let's reduce this so you can see. So what do I do? I'll go to, I'll come over here where you have the team. Just click on the team layer, click on create new layer from this icon here. Click on your brush, letter B on the keyboard as a shortcut key. Reduce the size to something around 1000. Let's do 1000. And then now let's create something like this. All right. So Control T like so. All right. Bring down this brush layer, bring it down directly below the theme. Okay. So I think this is looking better. All right. So I'll bring it down like so. Yep. So now let's add the date. So I think I have my dates typed here already. Just copy this, create a new layer to be on top, create a new layer, paste my text. So sorry about this. Let's change it. Okay. So we have our text here. Change this text to so okay. So I'm just going to remove text that I don't want here, and then select the theme, make this invincible, and just paste this here. All right, so we have the theme as the wind of revival. The space in between the text is much rather. So I want to reduce it. I'll come here and click on Auto. All right, so we have that reduced. Let's see what they have here. The wind of revival. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this from here. Okay, let's see what they have here again. So they have the theme and the wind of revival. All right, so I'm going to make this, select the wind of revival and change the weight from medium to extra bold Montserrat. So you cut that off by clicking Ctrl X on your keyboard and then Ctrl V to paste. All right. Now let's reduce the size to 5, or let's do 8. Okay, I think 8 works. Okay. So I'm going to select both, move it out a bit like so. Sorry. Go to edit, go to transform, go to skew, and yep. So let's still reduce the size. Let's still reduce the space in between this text. I'm going to do it manually now. Just going to, yeah, I think 10 works. Change this color to white. Okay, and then select the theme and change the color to yellow. Let's reduce this more to 8 and see how it looks. Okay, okay, this works. Now the next thing is to write the, the date and the time. Okay, now the date, let's just delete this first. So they have here Tuesday, 20th February 2024. All right, so let's cut off this time first. We'll come back to it. Okay, we are going to come back to the 4 p.m. But then let's start with this. Change the color to white. Let's change the weight to bold, to extra bold, and change the line in between. That is the leading. Make it to be 10. Okay, so let's see. Bring this down over here. Increase the size a bit. I think we should move the theme up. All right, date is here and the time will be beneath. We can just duplicate this and type 4 p.m. All right, so but I think their own time they have it on a red frame there. So we're going to come here, click on the rectangle to draw a rectangle like so. Change the color, come over here, click on this twice, change the color to red. Then bring this down below the 4 p.m. here. All right, so just like so. So this looks good now. I want to centralize this. So select the 4 p.m. and the rectangle and come over here and click on center align. All right. So I feel the text, I feel the rectangle is quite small. So you might want to reduce it. Hold your shift key and drag it down like this. So you want to increase it to this size, like so. All right. I can go ahead to add this, or we'll just leave it like this. Okay. So we are making progress. We are making progress, guys. Um, Now the address is going to be beneath. Okay. Let's move this up more and move this. Then let's bring in the address this time around. Right, so that is the address. Change the leading to 10. Okay. Move this here. So I'm looking at this thing. I don't actually like the way it is placed here. So I think we might want to change the position. But then let's bring this down. Let's bring this down. All right. Then this, for me, Okay, instead of bringing this down, uh, let's move it up. Let's move it up, guys. Let's move it up like so. Then this can now look like this. All right. But then Control T, go to Edit, go to Transform, and then let's skew it more to align properly with this. Okay. Now I think I like the setting of this now. So I'm going to write my theme here. I like theme alone. Change the weight to medium. Change the color to yellow. All right. You can also reduce the size to about 8. Awesome. So now I'm going to delete this. Okay. So I think I'm making good progress already. Amazing, amazing. So let's just group all this. Let's group all this and type on this date and time. All right, date and time. Going to increase the size a bit, move it up, then do the same for the venue. Amazing. So the next thing we want to do now is to um for one more time just position the pictures. I feel we should make them look better. So now let's position these pictures. Just group everything and say pictures. All right, Control T, and let's increase the size. Amazing. Okay, so um yeah, so this is looking quite good. This is looking quite good. And one thing that we might want to do is to increase our artboard size. All right, because from this you can see that theirs is looking longer in terms of the height than ours, and that's why we don't have much space over here again to add the other information. All right, so what we want to do now is to click on the artboard and just come here and click down like this. Okay, so now we have some more space in it. So let's move this down. Let's move this down like so. Then the pictures, let's also move them down like so. All right, awesome, awesome. All right, so the next step is to now bring in these logos. But from this, I think we should make our sport complex or the venue font to be bigger. Let's make the venue font size bigger. All right, so I'm just going to select this and then bigger like so. All right, now let's get the names of the ministers. We have BBO, we have B. Daniel, we have Precious Worship. All right, so let's cut this off. Control X, then paste. Okay, so let's select BBO. Let's make this font to be extra bold weight. Change the color to white and add a shadow. Add a shadow. Amazing. So the opacity is set to 54. distance 0, spread 16, size 170, angle 90. All right, so we're going to maintain this for the rest of the text. Okay, so this is set to 16, I guess, and then this should be extra bold. Okay, and let's go to this blending options and drop shadow. Change the font color to white. Awesome, 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 awesome. But I think we can reduce the size a bit more. Let's make it 14 instead. Now the spacing between can be around 14 as well. Amazing. So BBO can also be 14. Awesome. So we have BBO, we have P Daniel. Let's duplicate this P Daniel's text and type precious worship. Okay. So I'm just going to select the 3 layers and align them to the top like so, and then to the center as well. All right. So let's still make this smaller, a bit more, just like this, and spread this out. Amazing, amazing. So guys, I think we are almost done with this design. We are almost done with this design. Um, Finally, let's bring in the logos. All right, so we have the RCF logo. We also have the YMR global logo. Amazing. So let's reduce this. Oh, sorry. So we have these 2 logos. I'm going to select the both layers, move them to the top like so, and select them individually and reduce them like so. Reduce the sizes like this. Do the same for YMR global logo. And by the way, this logo looks really cool. Kudos to whoever did it. All right. Okay. All right. So let's make this lower part to be kind of darker. Want to make it darker. Okay. So we can have some contrasts over there. So create a new layer. Go to brush. Reduce the brush size to around 400, and let's add this brush. Okay. So I'm going to click on Ctrl T to increase the brush, then bring it down like so. Okay, just like so. So I'm going to click on this and say powered, powered by. Let's change this to medium. All right. So powered by. Awesome. So guys, I think this is about this. But let's see if we can move this to the center instead. Let's see if we can move this to the center and see how it looks. Okay, I think this looks better instead of it being to the side. Alright, I think this looks quite cool. So there you go, guys. I think this is about it. Yes, it's kind of a bit different from the main flyer, but then you can see that we actually got quite close to it. Okay, so but I like how this fire is very, very pronounced here. Okay, let's see if we can achieve that. Uh, let's see if we can achieve that. So I'll come here, go to file, go to place embedded. Let me bring, okay. So let's change the blend mode and see how it turns out. Hmm. Okay, I think darker color works. All right, so let's just clean off the lower part of it and then reduce the opacity. Oops. So guys, I this looks better, but I think we should clean off the part of this background where this text is on. So I want to clean off this particular part. All right, so this is our background. I'll click on the add layer mask, select my eraser tool, and then just shade this part. Okay, let's shade off this part like so. Okay, then Control T and spread this out the more. Okay, amazing. I think we can work with this. So guys, we are done, but one more thing we want to do is to actually make this design pop, to have this rich texture when we look at it. So I'll come to my layer panel, select the first layer up here like so, come down, hold my shift key on the keyboard and select the last. All right. Now I'll click on this shortcut key on my keyboard, Control Alt Shift E, Control Alt Shift E, or Command Alt Shift E. All right. So you can see we've had this particular layer separate from these other ones. We have this layer separate from these other ones. So now what do we want to do next? We come to filter, we come to camera raw filter. Okay. Then we increase the clarity. You can see how it's looking right now. It's looking richer. Also increase the texture. Let's do texture 25 and do clarity 50. All right. And let's add a bit of grain, just a bit. Let's do 10. Okay. Or let's do 5 instead. Amazing. So guys, this is about the flyer. One more thing we might want to add is to bring in this light flare, just move it up like so and place it somewhere here, just to have that light effect. Okay, duplicate it, Ctrl J or Command J, and also do the same here like so. All right, so guys, this is about the tutorial on how to design this flyer. I'll be looking forward to your own submissions, and let me know what you think about this design in the comment section. Thank you and cheers.